Hello. Last Sunday night, I sat down to watch Greed, which, spoiler alert, turned out to not really be about Steve Coogan sending up Philip Green, although it does do a fair bit of that. No, it turns out that it's about something much darker, much more important, and also incredibly timely. It's really about fast fashion's complicity in modern slavery, and not just in the sweatshops of Asia, but as it turns out, in the sweatshops of Leicester. The press reports in the Sunday papers on the conditions in the garment factories in Leicester are like a full house of everything bad. First of all, there's the environmental impact of throwaway fashion, which, by the way, can't just be blamed on young people. I suspect we're all guilty to a certain degree. I know I am. Secondly, the people producing these clothes in this country are predominantly from ethnic minorities and are overwhelmingly female. Third is the issue of the derisory wages and most likely a whole host of other financial and tax related issues. And finally, the implications on our ability to control COVID, because surely as night follows day, an exploitative employer is hardly going to care about whether their workforce is safe, never mind socially distanced. The garment industry is not the only sector where criminal working practices operate. There are recent examples in some areas of construction, fruit picking, nail bars, car washes, to name a few. So this is an issue that is more widespread than we think. Now, of course, most employers are fair, but here's a quote from Winston Churchill in 1909. "It's a serious national evil that any class of His Majesty's subjects should be receiving less than a living wage in return for their utmost exertions. The good employer is undercut by the bad, and the bad employer is undercut by the worst." So again, this isn't a new problem either. For talent leaders, this is a real issue because although you may not be involved in all the decisions about your organization's supply chain, you will be responsible for your talent supply chain. And for lower level contingent labor, this will most likely be outsourced. Now, again, although staffing firms can have their own reputational issues, when it comes to the major players, they're sophisticated and diligent in ensuring compliance across their labor supply chains. But as Winston has already pointed out, there are undoubtedly some who are lax or worse. And the danger is that in the current economy, employers can be tempted to switch to cheaper suppliers who are less vigilant. From our point of view, of the 11 areas of our talent acquisition benchmark program, the one which gets least engagement is supply chain effectiveness. Perhaps it's because it's not seen as sexy or exciting and it's more of a chore than other TA activities. I understand that. Regularly reviewing your supply chain effectiveness is unlikely to get you promoted. It is, however, likely to stop you getting fired. Boohoo are in the spotlight because of problems with their labour supply, and whilst it must be said that there's no evidence to suggest they had prior knowledge that a sweatshop in Leicester was supplying them, the city decided to knock $1 billion off their value, just in case. Being responsible for that is not something you want to have on your CV. So perhaps think about it this way. Raising standards in your talent supply chain can help improve sustainability, social equality, fiscal fairness, financial performance, and public health. Who wouldn't want that? If you want to understand how your talent supply chain effectiveness compares to your competitors and the market more widely, the link to our benchmark program is in this post. By the way, if you are looking for a film that really is a great bit of light relief, I thoroughly recommend Eurovision Fire Saga. It's an absolute hoot. Thanks for watching. Cheers.